Hello noble ones and welcome to Metatron's Academy. So today I found a video that it's from 3 years ago, but that's me summed up. It always takes me forever to notice things anyways. This is from, I'm gone, I'm back. This is from Wired, and we have reviewed Wired a few times, and sometimes they make videos that are absolutely cringe, but other times they make videos that they have a good expert and they're nice to watch. I remember this video from this Viking expert about the history of the Norse, and it was absolutely fascinating, very well researched, even double-checked it with a few friends of mine whose expertise is indeed not only Old Norse, but in general Norse history and Scandinavian and Nordic history, and they said that it was an excellent job, and I could already attest to that myself. So really good. Now, what do we have today? Linguists explain slang's trend through history. So how about we check it out?
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Ben.
And we're linguists. And today we're going to tell you about some things you might not have known about how language lives. When it comes to the casual and playful language we call slang, words can get popular really quickly among certain groups and can disappear just as quickly. Slang is often a kind of in-group marker, so if some slang term gets too popular too quickly outside of that in-group, that can spell the end of its usefulness.
So with youth slang, for instance, if the olds start using it, then, it's no longer youth slang.
Let's take a look at how slang can bubble up, disappear, and sometimes even come back.
Okay.
Nicole,
I think they're gonna talk about cool, right? I thought it was on the thumbnail, and that's pretty old actually. I believe it might be. Is it Victorian even? I think cool as an expression is one of those expressions that it's really old, but it's stuck. And I hope it continues because I like using it.
I have a pop quiz for you. Let's imagine that you could time travel and you could go back to the year 1699. And let's say you could go to the streets of London and hear people talking. Let's say you also wanted to insult someone's intelligence. Which of these words could you not use as an insult at the time? Booberkin, clodpate, dull pickle, nigmanog, or jobberknoll?
Goodness gracious, my favorite is jobberknoll. Please tell me I can use jobberknoll, please.
If I'm thinking about the etymology, then like nigmanog, there's like nog, which might be like noggin, like brain. Maybe the one that's not is jabberknoll?
Well, I'm sorry, this is actually a trick question. All 5 of these wacky words could be used at the...
Oh, you muppet. Come on, man. Well, I'm glad, let's be positive about this, because it really means a lot to me to be able to call someone a jobberknoll.
Time in 1699 to refer to a dim-witted person, a blockhead, a numbskull. And we know this because in that year of 1699, there was a dictionary published. And it's one of the first ever slang dictionaries for English. This was a dictionary of cant, which is the special secret language used by thieves and pickpockets and other low-life characters. Maybe they were making fun of each other. Maybe they were making fun of the marks, whose pocket
so they're telling on them. Good.
They were going to pick.
Maybe we should revive some of those words.
Yep.
I'd love to call somebody a dull pickle or a jobberknoll.
Come on, what is it with jobberknoll? Jobberknoll is objectively the best word on that list. Come on.
I bet those thieves in London weren't too happy that somebody came along and made a dictionary with all of their secret language in it.
Yeah, because then they had to come up with a whole new set of words for insulting people.
Right. So from the earliest recorded slang in English, one thing we see is that these words can have a really short shelf life just from too many people knowing about it.
I imagine it really depends, like the ones that are secretive in nature, sure. What about YOLO? You only live once. Let's go.
The whole process of slang becoming popular and then immediately passé gets accelerated when you can spread new language around really quickly. So if you're on social media, you might see a lot of slangy flashes in the pan.
You remember back in, let's say, late 2011, early 2012, do you remember YOLO?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that acronym for You Only Live Once, which I think we have Drake to thank for that in his song, The Motto.
You only live once, that's the motto, YOLO.
I wrote something about YOLO in the summer of 2012, and I remember it was already getting played out. And there was...
So they don't use it anymore? I didn't even know. I mean, I know what it means. I don't really use it. A useful slang craze flies under the... Okay.
Just, months after the song came out. But then I really knew that it was over for YOLO when I heard that Katie Couric on her new talk show was doing a segment called What's Your YOLO, where you were supposed to come on and talk about things you want to do before you die.
My YOLO would really surprise you.
Yeah, that was an actual clip from the segment. So When that happens, you know that YOLO is over. That was really the death knell.
So that's interesting. I imagine this, once again, the previous situation only applies to secretive language. This second situation, I imagine, only applies to the youth. So as he was explaining, only, I mean, if young people use, well, then again, you know, one way or another, either this way, like young people have a specific jargon, then the old people start using it, so they stop using it because it's not cool and edgy anymore, or those same youths turn into old people, right? Because this does happen, unfortunately. It takes its time, but it does happen. And so I imagine at that point, yes, it is old people still using it because they are latching onto a vocabulary system that it worked when they were young. We see this a lot. Old people tend to dress the same way that they were dressed back in the time. So now they're dressed like old people to us, but in reality they're dressed like they were dressed when they were young in their time. It's fascinating, and the reason why you can see this is because when you look at pictures or video from the early 1900s, the children are dressed like old people from our point of view. I love it. I actually love it. It gives you a little bit of a mental like, wow. And that's really what it is. So these are the two situations. I'm interested to see if they're going to speak about language that is not connected to the youth necessarily, and it's not and that it's not secretive.
For it.
Katie Couric on her talk show is not exactly the epitome of cool, but YOLO did have a good run before it became way too cringe. Now that process can happen even faster. Let's look at Cheugy.
Do we have to?
It's a good case study of how slang gets played out these days. Cheugy kind of came out of nowhere. A young woman named Gabby Rassin claims that she invented it in 2013, but we don't see it in Urban Dictionary until 2018. People still didn't really notice it until an April 2021 piece by Taylor Lorenz in the New York Times, where she writes all about Cheugy.
Talk about overexposure. A piece in the New York Times, I think that could really kill a new slang term.
And that's pretty much what happened. Lorenz's piece ushered in the Cheugification of Cheugy itself.
Well, it's also because it sounds obnoxious, to be honest. I mean, it really depends. If a word sounds cool, I can see more people using it. Of course, that's subjective. But Cheugy, come on.
Cheugy was a way for Gen Zers to talk about how millennials were off trend, but once millennials like Taylor Lorenz herself were using it, then it was already Cheugy itself.
The word Cheugy is now itself actually Cheugy.
Yeah.
Got it.
A couple of years after the heyday of YOLO came On Fleek.
Yeah, on fleek, that's an interesting.
I missed this one. Extremely good, attractive, or stylish. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. With this helmet, totally on fleek.
Interesting one because much like Cheugy, we actually know who came up with it. I mean, usually with new slang terms, we can't really pin down who coined it, but in this case, we can say that.
Yeah, a 17-year-old from Chicago named Kayla Newman, using the handle Peaches Monroe, posted a video of herself on Vine in June 2014.
Eyebrows on fleek.
R.I.P. Vine. I loved those short little videos. They were awesome.
In the Vine, Kayla described her eyebrows as on fleek before going out to a party, and basically meaning that they were perfectly done or flawless. Kayla's perfect eyebrows made such an impression that soon celebrities like Ariana Grande were posting their own on fleek Vines. Even Kim Kardashian got in on the action, and eventually it made its way to brands like IHOP started using on
Seriously, pancakes on fleek. Man.
fleek.
Brands, why do they have to ruin everything?
Yeah, and it's not the first or last time that a young Black woman came up with a linguistic innovation that everybody else latched on to.
Right, but that sounds a little like virtual signaling, to be honest. Everyone does it. We have examples from Asian, male and female, white, male and female, black, male and female. They should all be celebrated, of course. That looked a little bit like, oh, now they like me because it's wired. Cool,
there are
let's
cases where a slang term can just keep going and have this same kind of playful and irreverent air to it. Think about booze.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
Well, the word booze goes back to 16th century or so,
Wow.
and we find it in glossaries of criminal jargon. There's a book from the 1530s that actually defines it as alcohol or drink, and it could also...
Can you imagine that? So basically a 16th century knight. I mean, this is a 16th century helmet. So someone wearing this may have said booze. Well, actually, this is in the German style, so maybe not. But you know what I mean.
be a verb meaning to drink. And it came from this older Dutch word, boizen, meaning to drink to excess. So here we are 5 centuries later, and we're still using that
still
word
using
booze
it.
in pretty much the same way.
I wonder if it actually came back or if it just stayed steadily in usage. And do they still use it in Dutch? That's another thing be interesting to know.
Another pretty sturdy slang word is cool, and that one's been hanging on for almost a century.
Yeah, so the word cool has lots of different meanings, not just about temperature.
Okay, so I thought it was Victorian. They say 1930s, so I was wrong.
So you could call a person cool, calm, and collected, for instance.
Yeah.
Starting in the 30s and especially the 40s, cool developed this new sense. And that meant first rate, excellent.
Yeah, I think of cool as a jazzy word, like the Miles Davis album Birth of the Cool.
Not surprisingly, jazz musicians have played a big role in the popularization of the word cool. Lester Young, Prez Young. In the early 1940s, he loved using that word cool. His fellow musicians just picked up on that. We start seeing it in print in 1948.
But you see, that's a massive difference to the one that they said before that I already forgot, Cheugy. Like, that one sounded horrible. But this one instead, like, that one sounds like something I wouldn't pick up. Like, I would hear someone say it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you speak however you want, but I'm not going to say that. But cool instead, if I had never heard anyone say it, and then this jazz singer starts using it, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. And then I would probably use it because it sounds so, really, it is a case by case, isn't it?
Actually, the New Yorker.
And then, of course, the teeny boppers got to it in the 1950s.
Right. Cool starts showing up on lists of teen slang in 1952. Then before you know it, it's in songs and movies and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Jeepers! This is cool!
Cool. Look at someone from the 1950s saying cool. Ooh, that has some magic to it. Sorry, I'm covering the title. Here it is. Young Man's Fancy, 1952. I love that she said cool. I want to hear that again.
Jeepers! This is cool! Really cool!
Was there backlash against
Oh, I really love it.
cool after that?
Yeah, there was some backlash. The word cool wasn't so cool in the 60s. You could call things far out and groovy and that sort of thing. Cool kind of recedes a little bit, but then it comes right back in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And it actually goes along with the whole kind of 50s nostalgia. You think about Happy Days in Greece and that sort of thing. Since then, though, cool has stayed pretty cool.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
linguist named Donna Jo Napoli who says it's held on because of its underspecified nature. That means it can adapt to lots of different contexts.
Yeah.
I also think the reason why it's stuck is because cool, due to the fact that it is connected to a fresh breeze, air that is cool, it's a positive reinforcer. We don't say hot. Well, we do say hot for something else, but you know what I mean? It's like if it was tepid or if it was frigid, I'm not sure that it would have stuck, but cool gives me an idea of something positive because there is already a connection. If something is nice and cool, it's fresh, maybe a little drink when you're hot, maybe there is that. It could be something deeper, you know, in our perception. Anyways, cool video. Cool video. There you got it. I swear that was not planned. Thank you for watching and joining Metatron's Academy. Ciao, ciao.